Hi, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. So today I am going to be talking about a subject that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is the fitness industry. More specifically, I am looking at toxic fitness culture. Through my research and reading on the subject of toxicity within the fitness industry, I immediately saw crossovers between that and developing or having an eating disorder mentality. A lot of people wonder what comes first, the eating disorder, or like, does the obsession with fitness create the eating disorder, or is it the pre-existing possibility of developing an eating disorder, the vulnerability of that leads to the obsession in fitness? There's no one answer to what came first, the eating disorder or the eating disorder behavior. They each encourage each other. That's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what came first. What matters is recognizing that they kind of feed off each other. That's kind of where this video is coming from, is forming that connection between toxic fitness culture and an eating disorder mentality, whether it's developed because of or the result of. The article that I am referencing, I will put the link in the description below if you want to go and read it yourself, but I'm just touching on a few points that really stood out to me and ones that I personally can relate to, things that I definitely have fallen into the trap of believing, becoming obsessed, letting it consume my mind, and letting it twist what I know to be true and making it into something that it's not true, making it into something that is toxic. Fitness can only be for weight loss. This idea definitely was instilled in me. No one straight up said it. It was just very subtle implications that that was the case. If you're working out, it's to lose weight. And that just goes back to the whole idea that losing weight is like an admirable thing. It is an achievement, but it's like the greatest form of achievement for a lot of people is like, look how good I am at losing weight. And I definitely fell trapped to that idea of, look how good I am at losing weight. Fitness is a perfect place to go to make that admirable characteristic, which it's not really like a personality trait, whether or not you can lose weight or not. Fitness is a way to encourage that. And that's just the eating disorder voice talking. I don't know how it happened, but just one day, this thought popped in my head of, why am I working out? Why am I working out so hard? And it dawned on me that I love it. I truly, truly love it. But at the same time, it was coming from an unhealthy place. It was this obsession with, I have to burn off what I eat. I have to earn what I eat. It was that kind of thinking that was pushing me to push myself so hard towards weight loss, when at the end of the day, it should be for health. And if weight loss is a result of better, healthier choices, then maybe you needed to lose that little bit of weight, but it shouldn't be the main focus or the main goal for most of us. And so after asking myself, why do I work out? There is that underlining problematic thought process. I need to focus on loving it. I need to focus on doing what I enjoy. I had to change my thoughts. Fitness doesn't need to be for weight loss. The next point, looking fit can only look one way. For a long time, I would just scroll through images after images of just super muscular, toned, the perfect amount of muscle, lean muscle. You could tell they were strong. These women and men, just people in general, scrolling through and just obsessing over, this is what fitness looks like, this is what fit looks like, this is what healthy looks like, why don't I look like this? I had to step back and say, I'm not any of these people. I'm being ridiculous if I'm expecting myself to look like other people. And so I had to shift my goals yet again, and I needed to just say, I'm working out, I'm putting in the work, and what my body chooses to do based on the work, that's biologically what my body is meant to do. That's what my body is capable of doing. There's not just one size fits all to look in shape. We're all different, and I think it's really important that we embrace that and realize that our bodies do work differently. At the core, we're all the same, but the way each of us stores muscle, fat, it's different. And so to expect yourself to look like these airbrushed, photoshopped models on the internet, expecting to look like that because you did if you donkey kicks just like them, it's not going to happen. You have to understand you're your own person. What was really helpful for me is learning where I can build muscle, not the fastest, but the easiest. My ethnicity, my background does dictate a little bit of where you hold fat, where you hold muscle. And so to learn more about just me, where I come from and my family comes from, I was able to kind of target my workouts to, enhance what I have already. It was more than just like a learning experience in fitness, where I learned a lot about me and where I come from and where my family comes from. And that's kind of cool. Fit looks different for everybody. Unqualified people stepping outside of their areas of expertise. I do not categorize myself as a fitness expert, never have, never will. I put in the research and I experiment on myself. I don't tell other people how to work out. I don't tell other people how to eat. I don't give that kind of advice. I just show what works for me or what I'm experimenting with or what I'm doing. There is a few exceptions. When my mother is lifting improperly with improper form, I don't want her to get hurt, so I'm going to step in and tell her, don't do that. Do it this way. Or when my dad and I are bouncing ideas off each other when it comes to fitness and working out and stuff. He's a coach. He's far more, knowledgeable than I, but it's fun to bounce ideas and to hear from someone who knows a little bit about this to say, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, okay, but that still doesn't make me an expert. But there are people who, because they look fit, are pretty, and have a lot of followers, they suddenly become experts to the rest of us. And again, I have fallen victim to this. I have fallen into the idea that they must know what they're talking about because people listen to them. But that doesn't mean what they're saying is always true. Go to someone qualified, pay attention to the qualifications, because there are qualified people who will step outside of their areas of expertise, and you'll still listen to them because they're an authority somewhere else. Make sure they are an authority on the subject that you are engaging with them over. Setting unrealistic goals based off of someone else's accomplishments and goals. Been there, done that. What was I thinking? Set your own goals. There were so many times where I would look at influencers that I looked up to and who do have some sort of qualification, some sort of knowledge, good information. Always fact check and bounce it off of actual experts and actual scientific research. But it's okay to listen to influencers, but it's not okay to take what they say as hard truths and facts and implement it directly, exactly how they do it, into your life. I used to look at influencers and it's like, oh, they're bulking, I should bulk. Oh, they're cutting now, I should cut. They're doing this, I should do that. I am my own person. I'm not going to look like them. I'm not working out for the same reasons they are. I also would do this with competitive bodybuilders. I was really influenced and inspired by them. This is what they do for a living, and I do this as a hobby to make myself feel good and to be healthy. Why am I trying to set the same goals as them? That's ridiculous. And I had to, again, step back, ask myself, why am I doing this? Why do I think this is okay? Why do I think this would work for me? I literally sat down with a notebook and I listed what my goals were. And a lot of the goals were not specifically fitness related, but fitness was going to be used as a tool to reach those goals. At the end of the day, my goals are recovery based, and fitness is just a tool that I use to reach recovery and work through recovery. Just because someone else is doing X, Y, and Z and their goal is to do whatever, doesn't mean that needs to be the same for you. Be your own person in every aspect of your life. That includes fitness, working out, health, wellness, recovery. You see me doing certain things. You see me talking about certain things, but that's me explaining what I'm doing. You can take what I'm doing and tweak it and make it more workable for your own life if you want. And if you find it doesn't work, change it. Don't do what I do if it's not working for you. I would hate for you to do something that's not working. Just like I used to hate that I would follow people and do what they were doing and it wasn't working for me. And then I'd get mad. And who do you blame? Yourself. When maybe it's just the technique or the method or the process. It's not meant for me. It's meant for that person, but it's not meant for me. When you're susceptible to an eating disorder, it's going to grasp anything it can get and blow it up and make it so much bigger. So each of these points, the eating disorder is going to take it and really hone in on it and emphasize, like, you don't look like her. You're not fit. You're not setting the same goals as her. She's fit. So why aren't you setting the same goals as her? It's going to use that to really manipulate your mind, essentially hold you captive. Next point. I don't think I need to go too much into detail. If a person has a smaller body, they must be an expert on fitness. We kind of already touched on that. A lot of influencers will just skim the surface of fitness and wellness and nutrition and health, but they don't dive deeper. That's the vulnerable state. We hear them talking, we look up to them, they look a certain way, so we believe they know what they're talking about. But they don't really give us any depth. They don't really go deeper than just macros, protein, blah, blah, do that workout. But abs, cardio, they kind of just throw words at us that are like buzzwords, and we're like, oh, they must know what they're talking about. If you notice that like an influencer is just very surface, like they just don't seem to go any deeper, that is the universe telling you, you have to go deeper for yourself. You have to learn more, gain the knowledge, find the answers. When you set your own goals, that gives you the questions to then seek out your own answers. You have to always work out. Like, you can never take a rest day. You're a failure if you rest. And it's like, what? Whenever you work out, you're literally tearing your body apart. It needs time to rebuild at some point. You can't just go, go, go. You might be able to go and work out every single day for maybe a year. You're gonna burn out pretty quickly. I still fall into that trap of like, I have to work out, I have to work out. Life circumstances just have changed for me. And I find myself, I can't always stick to the same workout routine. And at first there was panic, but then there was, this is good. I need this, and I'm not a failure. There's no reason to be embarrassed or ashamed that I couldn't work out the way I wanted to yesterday because of whatever, something's going on, or I have to be somewhere at that time. A lot of us beat ourselves up for missing a workout. If COVID has helped with anything, it's letting go of that obsession with having to work out. Now it's, I want to work out. Long time ago, definitely felt like this. You have to look like you belong in a gym to go to a gym. And I think a lot of people feel this way and think this way. I could isolate this point as top 3 reasons why my eating disorder got so out of control when it did. Because I wanted to be in the gym so badly, but I didn't think I belonged because I didn't look a certain way. And so I starved myself and worked out at home constantly so that I could earn a place in the gym. It's bullshit. If you want to be in the gym, then you belong in a gym. If you want to be there, be there. That's the only factor that determines if you belong somewhere, is that desire to be in that place. Let's say you set your goals and you don't accomplish them as quickly as you wanted to, and then you're embarrassed and you again feel like a failure because things take time and you want it immediately. In our society today, we want that immediate gratification, satisfaction. You do one bicep curl and then your bicep isn't huge immediately. You're like, what did I do wrong? And it's like, these things take time. Your goals are not going to be achieved immediately. Some might, but most are not. If you're going to put the effort in, if you're going to put the time in, let it run its course, because that means that you're doing it in a healthy way. You're not ripping your body apart and then not letting it heal, and ripping it apart again and not letting it heal because you're so eager and impatient and you want the results now. Let the results come as they do. Dieting and fitness are the only true forms of self-love and self-care. Now, sometimes self-care, self-love is taking a rest day. Sometimes self-love, self-care is eating ice cream. Self-love and self-care are expressed differently from person to person. Eating healthy, working out can be forms, but they're not the only form of self-love and self-care. The eating disorder doesn't care if it's absolute bullshit. It will convince you of these things as true. And it's our job as smart, logical, free thinkers and the ability to choose. It's our job to say, that doesn't seem right. I'm going to put in the work to learn the truth. and then implement it in a way that works for me, my body, and my life. I just wanted to sit down and talk about a subject because I haven't done a video like this in a very long time. So if you enjoyed this video, or if you enjoy my other content, please give this video a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, you can give it a thumbs down. That is cool too. I don't mind. If you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of all future uploads. If you have any comments, questions, video suggestions, topics you would like me to touch on, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Be sure to go follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye!